Let me appreciate His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, the Vice President, who is here in his own capacity and also representing the President. Thank you for being with us. His Excellency Senator George Akume, the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, thank you for organizing this program and inviting us to come and be with you. The Deputy Chairman, you are actually not Deputy, but Co-Chair. Ambassador Kingibe, thank you for your brilliant speech. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, thank you for coming to honor this country today. Our keynote speaker and my good friend, the former governor of Katsina State, His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masri, we'll be happy, we'll listen to you because you are the key actor today. The Governor of Katsina State, His Excellency Umar Rada, Head of Service, distinguished senators, and other members of the National Assembly that are here with us, our honorable ministers are here with us, our service chiefs, Inspector General of Police, heads of security and intelligence services are here with us, our senior government functionaries, our elder statesmen, and our leaders. And let me also appreciate the representative of Fabiola family, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to join all of you at this very significant event today. I thank the federal government for inviting me to chair the 2024 Democracy Day Anniversary Public Lecture, a very momentous occasion to mark our nation's 25 years of uninterrupted democratic practice. I may not say much because I'm to chair the occasion. We listen to Masari, the keynote speaker, and like Kingibe said, he's very, very competent. I remember when we just came in 1999, before we know, the House of Representatives become another thing. There was an attempt to impeach a sitting president. And nobody knew where that would have ended us. But along the line, Masari took over and stabilized the House until he left. And again, he had just finished serving as the governor of Katsina State. So it's a good material to speak well. I also know the discussant that Kadaria is a well-known voice. Hamzat, Lawal, and Chido, these are known voices among very young people. So it will be a very good moment that we will listen to them. 25 years ago, on May 29, 1999, the Fourth Republic was birthed, and our nation embarked on a historic journey that will forever shape our country's future. Against all odds, we emerged from the shadows of military rule and ushered in a new era of democratic governance. The achievement is a testament to the resilience, courage, and unwavering determination of the Nigerian people. At this point, let me commend His Excellency General Abdulsalami Abubakar, who stood against all temptations and pressure to prolong military rule in Nigeria. Because at least I've been a president, and I know that it's not easy for a military head of state to step aside under a year for civilians to take over. We have to always commend him. Today we look back with a sense of gratitude to God and appreciation to many of the heroes of our nation who through selfless service and courage worked towards the democracy that we are enjoying today. When we mention June 12th, we remember Chief M.K. Abiola for his contributions to the consolidation of our democracy. In fact, Kingibe mentioned the key actors, including late Abiola's wife, Kodirat, and others. And of course, he was the elected vice president of the country. He was the vice president of M.K. Abiola. So that's an area he knows more than me, so I didn't want to bore your ears by mentioning names again. But we also remember The famous letter signed by 18 northern elders and delivered by Chief Solomon La, Alhaji Abubakar Remi, Malam Adamu Siroma, Ahmed Joda, and Chief Sunday Awini to General Sani Abacha demanding the return of Nigeria to democratic rule. A military dictator sitting, and some bloody civilians moved in with a letter saying, please, we need democracy. That's another way of saying, please get out, we want to take over from you. For the military, that is treason. So some people entered and confronted the lion, also to urge him to come up with a democratic setting. The full signatories to that letter were Chief Solomon La, Alhaji Adamu Siroma, Alhaji Lawal Kaita, Alhaji Abubakar Remi, Dr. Yoshia Ayo, Professor Ango Abdulhai, Dr. Suleiman Kumo, Malam Lawan Dambazao, Alhaji Iro Abubakar Dan Musa, Alhaji Sule Lamido, Professor Jerry Gana, Colonel Abubakar Umar, Honorable Isaac Shahau, Dr. Usman Bugaji, Alhaji Muhammad Azaki, Dr. Steve Ashema, Dr. Farouk Abdulaziz, and Professor Musa Yakubu. These are the 18 people who signed a letter urging Abacha to end military rule for Nigeria to go back to a democratic setting. Considering our political history as a country, 25 years of unbroken democracy is a milestone worthy of celebration. As it shows, we are making some progress in democratic governance despite the challenges we face in our journey of nationhood. Notably, the path towards democratic consolidation has been a difficult one. The first, second, and third republics of our democratic experiments were abruptly ended by the military amid political crisis and social tension. But after the G8 letter of Solomon La and others, on May 8, 1998, members of the G34, in a letter signed by Dr. Alex Ekweme, the former vice president, had also urged General Abacha to reject his adoption as presidential candidate and quit power. Because we all remember, for the young people, they don't know, but we remember the only person that they had fit. So Alex Ekweme and others also confronted that. The return of democracy in 1999, after many years of military reign, signaled a new phase in our national journey and our shared vision of unity, peace, and progress. In the last 25 years, we have made modest progress in this regard amid some challenges. As a nation, we built an economy that was once the biggest in Africa, in the African continent. We experienced significant infrastructural growth, made strides in the arts and sports, and recorded many peaceful political transitions at the national and subnational levels. Democracy has also brought about improved access to governance, amplified silent voices, and reinforced the idea of sovereignty. Whenever I tune to Nigerian television stations, especially in the morning, and I see young men and women discussing and interrogating social issues and holding government accountable, I always appreciate democracy. Today, citizens have come to terms with the idea of representative governance, as they have over the years expressed their power to choose their leaders and demand accountable leadership and good governance. Our civic space has largely flourished with a vibrant civil society community, increased media freedoms, and very, very active press. Our journey to democratic consolidation has not been an easy one. It has been a mixed bag of gains and losses, progress and pain. We have continued to deal with the issue of insecurity, social inequality, unemployment, as well as electoral disputes and violence. Despite the challenges associated with democracy, the general feeling is that citizens prefer democracy to any other form of government, not only in Nigeria, but almost across the world. As a nation, our resolve has been challenged many times, but through shared faith and unity, we have continued to march on, and we will continue to march on. We must underscore the fact that democracy is a journey and not a destination. Our democracy, though still young, has weathered storms, overcome challenges, and proven its endurance. It has become a beacon of hope, not just for our nation, but for the entire continent. In these 25 years, through four-power transition from one president to the other, I'm not talking about the election, because like Kingibe said, two presidents hand over to themselves. But we have four situations where presidents hand over to another president, even in a case where a sitting president died. These are challenges that could have brought this republic to another end, but we survived it. Democratic institutions have been expanded. This progress, while commendable, also reminds us that our work is not yet done. We still have more to do. It is therefore time to make this journey seamless through good citizenship, patriotic service, as well as sacrificial and exemplary stewardship. We must continue to build upon the foundations laid, deepen our democratic roots, and ensure that the dividends of democracy are felt by all Nigerians, regardless of their economic status, or social status, or geographical status. For democracy to yield its desired dividends, the political class and elite must lead by example and work with unity of purpose to guarantee peace and social justice to the citizens. And our lifestyle must reflect that we are elected people. A situation where children of political office holders go to parties and start spraying dollars is not the kind of democracy we want to witness in this country. We must work together despite our political differences, accommodate our diversity, and prioritize policies that will impact the lives of our citizens. As we project towards celebrating a golden jubilee of our uninterrupted democracy, which I believe we will. We are celebrating 25 years. We'll also celebrate the golden jubilee. It is imperative to state that we need to work assiduously towards further strengthening state institutions so that they can withstand the shocks that threaten democratic governance. Democracy as a form of government is anchored on sets of promises in line with the nation's development and growth aspirations. The fulfillment of these promises reinforces the citizens' trust and faith in the government. As we celebrate 25 years of unbroken democracy, we look to the future with the hope that democracy has come to stay and that democracy will continue to take firm roots in our nation. And we will have cause to celebrate a centenary of uninterrupted democratic governance. Of course, we wish our grandchildren luck to celebrate that. To attain such a feat, the political actors and everyone at the helm of affairs in this country must listen to the voices of the citizens. As I round off, let me say that we need to come up with a model of democratic practice that will be more inclusive and reinforces social cohesion. The zero-sum kind of politics where a winner takes it all has not helped to foster unity and political justice. A political party, for example, that scores up to 30% of votes during an election, either at the national or subnational level, should have something to go home with. I'm not clearly recommending proportional representation, but different governments come up with models of democracy that suits them. After all, the presidency we are talking about, all presidents of this country, all presidents of the world don't emerge through the same process. Nigeria will elect our president directly. In a number of countries, presidents are elected indirectly. The powers of the presidents are defined by different constitutions and so on and so forth. So our National Assembly can also look at models that will suit us. The zero sum that a party that even sometimes get 40% of votes, especially at the state levels, will have nothing, give rise to this do or die politics. That zero-sum approach, I think, is inimical to consolidating and strengthening our democracy. Let me conclude by saying that together we can forge a Nigeria where every citizen has a voice, where opportunities abound, and where the promise of a better tomorrow is not just a dream, but a tangible reality. Let us therefore celebrate this milestone with pride and renewed determination. Let us ensure that the next 25 years of our democracy are even more transformative and inclusive and more prosperous for all of us. In line with the wordings of our national anthem, I think the second stanza, to hand over to our children a banner without stain. We must not hand over to our children a democracy built on politics of region and religion. A democracy built on ethnicity does not endure. It will continue to wobble. So for the Honorable Vice President, you represent also the President. For me, we are hoping that you will build more infrastructure for us, improve the quality of education, health facilities, etc., etc. But one key thing that for the next 25 years, you will midwife, because you are starting the next 25 years, is to build a democracy that will reduce friction. The avalanche of litigations that follow every round of election in Nigeria is very embarrassing. And because of the kind of democracy we practice. The democracy built on all kinds of sentiments, either the way you worship your God or from the map of the country you come from. You will have to gradually make sure that in the next 25 years, this is diluted. If we must have a solid and enduring democracy. And I know you and the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was a key actor in the June 12 crisis, have the capacity to navigate through that process. I believe this program and others commemorating this landmark will point the way to that glorious future and prepare the nation for a golden and centenary celebrations of enduring democracy. I thank you all.